So when you get dumped by someone, you kind of feel like not very confident. So you want to gain confidence back by achieving something. And the reason why a lot of people think stock market is gambling because they don't have a specific strategies. And we have about 2 students that is over 2 million already.
Off. The pill.
Clappy claps. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Pill Podcast. All right, today we got David in the moderator seat. I don't know why I started dancing. Paco is right next to me. I'm Ryan, and we have a very special guest, and also for the first time ever, a sponsor of today's podcast, Mr. Steven Dux.
Hi.
He's a young 25 years old,
25, yeah.
like just very recently, who basically turned $27,000, correct me if I'm wrong, into $4 million before the age of 24.
And you're 25 right now.
25, right? Still $5 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So $5 million in well, when did you start?
Started when I was 19 officially.
That is crazy. And so in 5 years, basically, 5-6 years.
$1 million a year?
4 or 5.
Something like that?
Somewhere like that, yeah. Like that.
Okay.
Impressive.
And that's why I'm intrigued. But just because I kind of butchered your whole story and what you actually do, I'll let you explain it.
Okay, so it's gonna be a little bit different, and compared to other stock brokerage, a lot of stocks here is Apple, Tesla, Amazon's, all those stocks or options that you guys hear pretty much all the time on the TV. But what I trade is the stocks that have a lot lower market caps, which it means the stock worth a lot less compared to Amazon's and Tesla.
So smaller ones.
Smaller
ones,
companies,
yes.
right?
Yeah, smaller companies.
And I'm
yes.
just as a disclaimer for everyone out there, and for you, Steven, we're gonna have to have you dumb this down a lot for us because we're not experienced in this world. So even just what you just said, I'm like kind of following.
Okay. Okay.
We'll ask you though. Okay, so you deal with more like smaller stocks and not like the big companies and stuff like that. So what does that mean exactly when you're saying you trade?
Okay, so there's about 3 sections of what I typically categorize all the market caps. So 3 sections. One is billion-dollar cap, which includes Amazon's and Tesla's or all the bigger companies. Then after that, we follow with under 1 billion, so we'll be anywhere around 500 million to 1 billion. This categorized called mid-cap, so that they are middle companies. Kind of big or not.
What's
really
an example of one of those? That's a kind of big company.
Most of them are biotechs, so they're making medicines. Testing their drugs and getting through phase 1, phase 2, and then finally get their FDA approval. So majority of the stocks are sometimes there's all types of types of stocks. It can be biotechs, it can be technology companies, and stuff like that. And after that, we follow with anywhere between 20 million to 100 million. So that's where I trade.
That's considered small?
That's considered small, yeah.
Oh.
Wow. Is there anything smaller than that? Like,
yes, there is.
Yeah.
Some of company only worth about 2 million to 10 million.
and they're in the stock market. Like,
Yes.
you could buy and trade.
You can buy and trade. They're typically in NASDAQ, and now bigger companies are there in New York Exchange. Then if there's a lot smaller companies, there will be in pink sheets. So there's 3.
I've heard about pink sheets
Yeah.
from The Wolf of Wall Street. That's
Yes,
why.
pink sheets are very sketchy. Yeah.
because of the movie. That's why they made the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So generally, when you hear about pink sheets, they're pretty much garbage companies. And there's that back in 2016, 2015, or a little bit earlier, 2012, there's a lot of people are pump and dump the stock. So they're sending out all types of emails saying, oh, the stock's going to go up. And very similar to Wolf of Wall Street. And except they're doing the emails instead of phone calls. And a lot of people just buy the stock, and the insider will dump the stock, and all the investors lose money.
So the pumping means that they get a lot of different people to buy the stock, and then the stock price goes up, 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 up.
Yep.
And then they all sell it because other people are like, oh, it's doing really well. Let me put some money into it. The average people, right? And then they dump it and then they all sell it, and then it drops the price, right?
They
Is that how
don't
it
really
works?
sell it. So let's say, as an average person, I don't know nothing about stocks, and somebody sent me an email, this thing's gonna go up to a couple thousand %. Well, of course, I'm interested. So at first, I'm gonna be a little bit skeptical. I'm gonna buy it at $1, and stock goes to 5. I say, oh, I missed a lot of profits.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna add more, putting more money into it. And then when stock goes to 20, and that's where the people inside the stock, they're holding a large amount of shares, and they sell the stocks. So when they sell, I'm stuck because I can't sell anymore because stock's already down 50%, 70%.
And it's not going to go back up.
It's not gonna go back up.
So it's a scam.
It's a scam. Yes.
Is that illegal?
Yes.
I don't
it's
remember
legal.
in that movie. I thought they were doing like illegal things. I don't
Okay,
know.
so pump and dumps, it is illegal. A lot of people get caught by SECs. And yeah, it's very sketchy.
So
It
how-
still
so-
happens. Sorry.
Yeah. No. I'm just wondering. I'm trying to because that's based off like the movie, and it has like a negative connotation around it, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what, not to tie you into that.
Okay.
What do you describe what you do, and dumb down as much as you can.
Okay, so what I do is I study their methods of. I used to trade pink sheets almost 50 times out of my all trades, and I will study the market makers, the people are inside the stock, and I will study their methods, what would they see, and what time would they dump. So I will go into the stock they pumped up before, and I will see there's gonna be a specific pattern that when they see it, they will dump the stock. And so I basically want to short the stock. I will go against the stock going up. And the more the stock goes down, the more money I make. So when they decide to dump the stock one day and I'm shorting, I will make money instead of losing money by buying the stock.
So when you say they, are these people that you like? Do you know like where they are or who they are?
No, I have
There's-
no idea.
So you're but there's a group of random people
Yeah.
who will have like a certain pattern in the way they trade,
Yes.
sell and buy.
Yeah.
And
so
what
you-
does shorting mean?
Shorting is basically the opposite of buying. So when you buy at $1, you sell at $2, you make money. But when you're shorting at $2, buy back at $1, make money.
Okay.
So you actually go against. You don't go for.
I don't go for
Ever?
it. Ever. No.
Oh,
like
interesting.
about 10% of the time.
Do you
go.
think it's safe? Is there a reason for that? Is it safer?
Okay, so a lot of people ask me that question. So shorting, when you're going against the stock, let's say when the stock goes from 2 to 5, when you're shorting at 2, you're actually losing over 100% of your investment because you're shorting at 2, it goes to 4, or you're losing 100%. It goes to 5 or more than that. But if you're buying a stock, if stock goes to 1 to 0, you only lose about 100%. That's it. You can't lose more. The stock won't go negative. So.
Oh, I see.
That's the risk of shorting. Now, shorting requires a lot of methods, risk management, how to manage your risk. That's a whole different area for me to cover. But if you have a really good risk management, shorting does have much more odds compared to going long, especially on these small cap stocks.
Right.
Because generally, the reason why they're small caps because their fundamentals are really bad. So they're basically when stock goes in, when a company goes public, and the reason why they go into public because they need money. They need people that to buy the stock. They can do offering to raise money for their projects. When you have a really small company, you need money to grow your company. That's
Okay.
why.
Well, before we get more into like exactly how you do things, I kind of want to know like just the origin. Like, so, I mean, I have a fact here that, like, and I said it earlier, you took $27,000 and turned it into $4 million before the age of 24.
Yeah.
Well, for one, how did you get the $27,000 to start?
Okay.
Because a lot of people be like, well, that's easy to do when you have so much money. Just a lot for a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
How did you get it to start? And then also, what got you into this?
Okay, so when I was 19, I think I was 1 year later compared to other people because I took 1 year off to learn English.
Where were you?
I was
Originally from
Yeah.
Chongqing, so exchange students. I came here, took a 1 year off, just learning the language, then go to the high school
Wow.
in Cincinnati, then going to the college.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. Well, how did you learn the language though? Like, were you just taking classes or were you watching like?
No, I had an American girlfriend and I had an American host family. So
Wow.
that's where they.
And you just kind of picked it up.
Yeah.
But why Cincinnati? Like, it's so
Yeah.
random.
Okay, so I was supposed to go to bigger cities, and there's like a bunch of at that time because there's not very good relationship between what China and American. They're just starting to establish more exchange students going back and forth. So that program was just initiated and not very long ago. Then at that time, nobody is very familiar, and that's where a bunch of scammy people comes in, and they can take because the Chinese parents doesn't really know English, so they can
take advantage
of it. That's how I ended up in Cincinnati. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, you started with the $27,000.
Yeah.
Is that just family money? Like, how did you start off with that amount? Because that's not an easy amount to acquire for the average person.
Yes, and at that time, I think I was working at a dorm in the school. So I was taking night shifts because all the morning shifts got taken by other people. So I was basically working from 12 p.m. to like 8 a.m. Like, yeah, that was
so
nightmare.
literally just working a regular more than a 9 to 5, but working a job and saving.
Yeah, they pay me a lot more, so that's why it took me about a year to save that amount.
A whole year's salary.
And plus some of the I would say 70% come from the job, 30% come from the parents.
Okay.
And
they spotted you a little bit.
Not spotted me a little bit. It's part of the tuition, so I just.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how.
So you saved up. You had this $27,000, and what made you be like, hey, I think I can do this stock thing? Like, how did you get into it?
Okay, so I was in this engineering project, and I had the idea of building a generator, and at that time, we were studying nanotechnologies. So, the professor comes in and says, "Well, we don't have enough we don't have enough funds to fund the project." And that's where I think about, we need some funds, so I better just go and make some money. And
yourself,
yeah,
like get a job somewhere or something.
And also, at that time, I also got dumped by my girlfriend, so I was a little bit motivated
to make money,
to make changes.
What can I mean, if it's too personal, you don't have to answer, but is it money related, or is it just like, I'm going to show her? It sounds like the Facebook movie story, doesn't it? What's the reasoning, for you bringing that up?
So when you get dumped by someone, you kind of feel like not very confident. So you want to gain confidence back by achieving something. That's why I want to achieve something significant. That's why I decided to get into the stock market, because at that time, as an exchange student, you can't really work. And you can't really invest because you don't have a correct identities. So the only thing you can do is to trade exchanges. You can't do that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you you understood stocks before?
No, I have no idea.
You just looked into it?
So I just started on YouTube and watched people explaining what the stock market is, buy some books, Stock for Dummies. Yeah. So I was trading. So I know ETF, which is it's not a specific company. So it's basically every day has volatility going up and down. So I was basically trading that, but every day is only moving about 1% to 2%. So I wasn't making that much money, but I see the potential. Let's say if I invest $500, I can make $25 and $30 on a day. It makes me feel good.
Right, because you came up a little bit.
Yeah. So at that time, I was making $15, $13 an hour, but you can make $30 in a couple of minutes. That's considered really good. So after that, I was looking for more aggressive income, and I took a look at the small cap market, and I saw there's one stock went from, I think it was 1 to 120, something ridiculous like that, and basically every often they will have one stock going from 1 to 60, 1 to 50. That's like a couple 1,000% gain in only 2 days.
Right.
So I was trying to think how I can capture that. And that's where I started to get into the market I'm trading right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But when you say that, I'm sure it always looks very like, oh man, I just missed on something so big. Like, that's also a trap in itself, don't you think?
Yeah, yes, it is. That's called fear of missing out. It's called FOMO.
Yeah. But it happens. There's a reason why. It's almost like gambling, right? There's a reason why people keep putting in money and going, hoping they just get lucky. Yeah. But your process isn't based around that.
My process is not based on that at all.
So it's not gambling.
It's not gambling at all. And the reason why a lot of people think stock market is gambling because they don't have a specific strategies. And if you think about a lot of hedge funds, like for Goldman Sachs and bigger hedge funds. They're winning $100 million a day, and they're winning 90% of the time. So they're winning 228 trading, 200 trading days. So that's something ridiculous, and their gains are significantly more than their losses.
Right. And it's because they have a system?
They have a system. They have a algo system or computer trading or some type of high long-term, high winning percentage pattern or high strategy they're using for a while. So, well, there's got to be something like that. And it's very similar to industry right now, pretty much every single industry. Either it's YouTubers or real estate people or people doing stock market. There's only 10% people can be extremely successful, right? So pretty much the same odds. And a lot of people are thinking stock market, it's not for them, but it really depends on how much work you put into. So.
But I mean, like in the stock market, it's a little different in that I feel like if you and all these other companies are winning so often, that means there's a ton of people who are constantly losing.
Yes.
So those people, I mean, it's like energy, right? Money just doesn't appear.
Yeah.
It has to come from somewhere. So these people that are losing, in a way, I mean, like if everyone starts winning and if you're giving away, I mean, your whole thing is you want to help educate people, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that affect your own business?
No, there's so many people.
Right. I mean,
so many people.
But in theory, right? In theory, if all these companies, if everyone starts catching on, basically what you're saying is there's always going to be dummies out there.
There's always be dummies.
Yeah. And what is your goal essentially right now?
Okay, so my goal from the very beginning is I started when I was a newbie. I was a newbie, and I didn't get that many help from people. It took me about 1 year looking at the market consistently 8 hours every single day without nonstop, even the holidays. Well, holidays I was studying for statistics, and it took me a while to really figure out what's working, what's not working. So if I can give this to people and can help the younger people that when they want to have their dreams, it will take much less time for them to achieve their goals. So,
okay.
So I have a question though. The way that you came about it, is it just like your ability to recognize patterns that you feel like gave you a lot of success, or is it something that almost any person can see?
It's pretty much everybody can see if you learn what to do. So the way I come out all those patterns is I will track about 1,000 samples and of one specific pattern, and I will calculate how many times do I win, how many times do I lose. Now it will show me, well, let's say if you trade this pattern for 3 years, 95% you can win, 5% you can lose. And well, I will take that trade all day, and if it appears, it appears. And also track the frequency of the pattern, so how many times it happen per year. So I can use that frequency times how much reward I can make on each trade. I can simulate again of how much money I can make per year.
And this pattern that you saw and you're studying, is it something that was already, I guess, figured out and previously talked about, or is it something that you kind of pioneered?
Some of the strategy I created by myself, some of it are already there. So.
From the books and stuff you read.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's so many different patterns and techniques.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different companies that have, different strategies, and they sell their strategies.
Yes.
Kind of like what you guys are doing as well. What's the differentiator between your strategy and all of the other 1,000 strategies that are out there?
Okay, so when you are searching on internet, it says how to trade penny stocks, how to trade the microcap stocks. When you search, there's going to be 1,000 people come up, and you don't know where to start. So I think the very fundamental thing you need to look at is people's track record. Do you have account statements laying out? Does this person show is he consistent profitable for the last 5 years? And if he's not, then it's not somebody you want to learn from. And a lot of people just showing their cars. Well, we all know people on YouTube showing their cars, houses, to lure people in to buy their program, but they don't really have any official track record. That's called lifestyle marketing. I hate that, but
right.
Yeah.
But you have some stuff that you kind of brought with us, right? That, like, explain to me what we're looking at, because this looks crazy. It looks like you're making a beat or something.
Okay. Okay, so the green number right here, the day realized. So this is how much I made today.
Sorry, real quick. If you could just, because we have some audio listeners, so maybe this is a program people can
Oh
look
yeah.
at.
Okay. So you want me to talk about the program?
Or like what it's
Just
called.
describe what you're talking about.
Okay, so this is my brokerage account. This is a Trade Zero. It's one of the brokerage out there that specialize in small cap stocks. And this is the platform which I look the stock for. And well, generally you don't really need the platform. All you need is just the platform to trade.
Then this is just a program people can download.
There's a program people can download.
Is it free?
No, they're not free.
How much
like
do the
it's
programs cost?
$27,000.
So this one costs about $200 per month. This one costs about $90 per month.
Oh,
The Trade Zero.
This Trade Zero, yeah.
Right, okay.
But you don't really need this one, or you need just this one.
You just need the Trade Zero.
Yeah,
Okay.
$90 per month. Yeah. So right here you can see buy, sell, short, and cover. So buy, you buy a stock. Sell, you sell a stock. You short, you can short a stock. Once you finish shorting, you want to cover all your positions. So when you take a position in shorting, your position goes in negative. But when you're buying, your position goes positive. So it's literally the opposite. And right here, that's my account number. So you can see it's XDUs of ducks. And they realized 33,000 today.
That's what you made today
That's what I made today.
in profit, not in, or is that in total?
That's in profit.
So you made 33 grand today.
Yeah.
is that normal?
Pretty normal, yeah.
On average, you make
On
about 30
average.
grand a day.
Not averaging 30 grand a day, but it really comes in and goes.
Yeah.
You can't really tell. I think 30 grand every 3 days. So sometimes
What's the biggest loss days?
biggest loss days for me will be 70,000.
Wow.
Biggest
you're making-
gain?
But I only take that losses pretty much about 2-3 times a year. And the biggest gain I made is 200,000, 300,000.
Wow.
And,
In a day.
yeah, I can't exceed that. So
And so I guess with is this an automated program, or do you have to put in specific numbers in what you want to do according to the patterns?
yes, this is what you want to do specifically. Let's say when you want to short stock at this time, then you click short. And it's not fully automatic. It can recognize patterns and
Got it.
auto trade.
Okay.
Yeah.
And and why do you use this program versus? Because I have some stocks as well. I mean, I'm not a day trader, but I use like E-Trade. What's the biggest difference between E-Trade and a software that's more looks a little more complicated?
Okay, so
like
I'm going
this?
to give a very honest opinion about all brokerage out there.
Yep.
And you guys hear about probably Interactive Brokers, E-Trade, Robinhood, probably most popular.
Yep.
And Robinhood, I don't like that. The way you see it, everything's free. But when you're buying a stock, especially for beginners, they're taking your entries. So basically, let's say you bought at 1, and they will execute you at 1.05. So
What does that mean? Executing at 1.05.
So when you want to buy at $1, but you actually bought at 1.05. So all that 0.5
For them.
belongs to Robinhood.
But I thought Robinhood is free.
Yeah, it's free. Yeah, it's completely
Free
free.
trades, right?
When you buy it, they will taking money from
It's
your
like a
trade.
tax.
Yeah, it's like a tax.
Oh,
Yeah.
so they actually charge you behind the scenes
Yeah.
on your profits.
Yes.
If you get profit.
Yeah. Now, when you get profit, no, it doesn't really matter when you get profit. When you lose, it will still take partial when you sell. Yeah. Also, when you gain, it will still take partial when you use. Yeah.
And our,
So they win all the time.
That's why I don't really like Robinhood, but it's, I mean, yeah, that's the reason I don't really like Robinhood. Now, followed
Okay.
with the E-Trade. Interactive Broker is the one I like the best. They do charge very small amount when you are buying certain amount of shares, but if you have a really small account, let's say you only have a couple $1,000s or $500, I think Interactive Broker is the best for you. Follow on that, and brokerage take dollars per trade. They said they will take about $10 on a trade, and when you place the order in, the total amount they just take $10, no matter how many shares you're trading. Some of the brokerage take 0.0004 per share.
So the reason right now that you're kind of doing like this podcast and you've made other appearances in other YouTubers' videos and stuff like that is because you're trying to get yourself out there so that you can kind of, I guess, promote the fact that you're kind of you want to be a teacher to a certain degree. Like you
Yeah, to a
offer
certain
courses
degree. Yeah.
to teach people like us who know nothing from the very beginning how you can get started in doing something like this, correct?
Yeah.
And you really believe that you're not special, that in terms of like average dumb person like me or Paco could learn something like this if we took your courses.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
And just because
I quit. I'm gonna start learning from this guy.
you know how I didn't bring in David because David's smart.
I'm not smart, no.
Yeah. But so people like, I mean, obviously this sounds like just seeing that number. Oh, you made 33 grand. Of course I'm interested. Of course everybody who hears is interested, but naturally the skeptic in me, the skeptic in everyone is like, well, this sounds too good to be true. This guy seems shady. Not that I think you're shady. We've met personally, so it's a little different.
A lot of people do have a skeptic.
But, you know, why should people take you as legitimate? Like, why? Explain to us what makes you different from your average shark, or the things they see on The Big Short, or the things they see on Wolf of Wall Street, you know?
Okay. So the thing is, a lot of people out there, as I said, the very fundamental thing is they don't have their track record. And I think I have my verification on 2018, 2019. And because a lot of people did have a very, their skepticism. So like they doubted me that I actually turned 27,000 into 900,000 within a year. And so I replicate that performances in 2018 by auditing my account statements every single month to a CPA firm. And I did it. So if you guys a lot of people are skepticism, they can look at my account statements. And
you put that out there publicly?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And that costs you money to do as well.
they cost a lot. It costs like $50K. Sometimes even
Every time you do an audit?
every year, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's expensive to audit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for you, that's just 6 days of work. So
He's like, no, it's 2. Okay.
And also, I reviewed one of my account statements that for the maximum performances, I turned 41,000 into 300,000 in 1 month. So,
Oh my God.
So now I guess also with because how do people learn your stuff? Is it an online course? Is it a book?
it's an online course.
Online course. And about how long does it take? Or is it like you go at your own pace?
So typically it will take about a year and a half to pretty much learn all the strategies and get it settled in your head.
So it's almost like a trade school in a way.
Yeah.
When you say a year and a half, is it doing this every day for a year and a half?
Doing this pretty much study about at least 2 to 4 hours a day.
Okay.
A year.
So it's something where like what you did is work pretty much all day to save up and then study for like few hours. So going to school and then also.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same pretty much for everything. Like going to school or getting good at sports, you take years.
Right.
Yeah.
How long have you been giving out these courses?
I've been giving out for a year, almost 2 years now.
And have you had people succeed and have you had people fail? Have you had angry customers?
Yes, we did. So we have at least 20 students. That is already over at least 200,000. And we have about 2 students that is over 2 million already.
In a year
in a year, yeah.
Wow.
And we did have customers that they speak Spanish, so that they can't understand my course.
Well, that's different.
But
is there anyone who took it and they just didn't see results, and maybe it's because they weren't studying or maybe they weren't doing it right, but like there has to be people who there's no way you have 100% track record, right?
Yeah, not 100% track record. As I said, a lot of people, they don't really put the work in, then they failed and they have been very angry.
Out of the 20 people, how many roughly do you think?
So 20%, I would say 20 out of 100.
Oh, 20 out of 100.
Yeah.
Kind of like didn't. So it's a pretty good percentage.
Yeah, 20 to 25, yeah.
20 out of 100 are doing well or not doing well?
20 out of 100 are doing very well. Doing well, then probably 50 out of 100.
Got it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense because, I mean.
So this track record, right? I mean, some would say that, oh, why isn't it 90%, right? But what you're saying is that even though somebody can purchase your class, it doesn't mean that they're studying it the right way. Is that how it is? Or is it that they're not starting off with enough money? Or is it, I mean, I'm sure it's a variety of reasons.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that they just had kids and they bought the course and haven't get into the webinar, because I do live trading webinars to people. So I live trade in front of them and they don't even come to the webinars.
Yeah.
And that's how they that's how they fail.
So they want quick. Right. They bought it because they wanted to make money quickly, as opposed to just wanting to study it and really apply it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people that just come in, well, Stephen, how about just give me your alerts, and when you buy, I'll just buy the same thing with you. You can't do that, because what happens when I just go off? I just want to trade by my own. I don't want to teach you anymore. You're not self-sufficient, and it's not gonna help you.
It's the whole like teach a man or give a man a fish, he eats for a day.
Yeah.
Teach a man to fish, he eats for his life.
Yeah, and also I feel like they're lazy. The fundamental of the program is I want to teach them to be self-sufficient, to not being
and to put in the work, because you did.
Yeah.
You have to earn it. You can't just copy notes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So essentially, and then going back to kind of, I guess, skeptics, you clearly make a ton of money daily.
Yeah.
Why charge for these courses if the whole goal is to get these people to do it? Obviously, I get it. It's a business in itself.
Yeah.
Is the goal because this business you think could be way bigger and it also helps people, or is it like, it's kind of strange to the average person. Like, you're making this much money, why do you need to charge? Why not just upload YouTube videos?
Yeah, I do upload a lot of YouTube videos for teaching people, and everything's free out there. And also, the reason why I charge people is they want to feel something is important. When you buy something that's super expensive, you think it's important. So that's why when you just give stuff for free, they don't really care at all.
Yeah, and they don't take it necessarily as seriously.
Yeah.
True. Okay. Well, we're at our halftime right now, so we're going to take our quick shishi break, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Or do you have a special talent?
Oh, yeah, we do that now.
Can you tell us a funny joke, or can you sing? Is there something you're good at?
Halftime show performance, anything you want to do?
I'm really good at gaming, but we can't really show a game.
I guess we'll just cut to an hour game show.
A live stream.
We'll come back. We have some personal questions for you as well, so I think it'll be a little interesting.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. And we're back. So what do you have here?
Okay, so this is my brokerage account statement. You can see starting day it's December 1st, 2018. Ending period is December 31st.
Oh, so this is what you were talking about earlier about having proof of your track record that
Yes.
most people who give advice to basically do this don't have.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is their website, and you can call to verify if it's real or not. And this
For
is
listeners, it's tradezero.co.
Yeah.
Tradezero.co.
Yeah. So this is I don't want to show my account number, but this is
you don't
my
have to
name.
show
This is my account number. And now
that down.
the only thing you need to pay attention to is you can see right here, net profit, right? Net P&L. So that's net profit. And you can see on this day made 117,000. This day lost 6,000. This day lost 35,000. This day made 29,000. And overall, for a month, I made about 255,000.
That's 1 month.
It's 1 month, yeah.
Wow. So on the days you lose like 30-something thousand, that's not even a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, and it's based on
part of
statistics. It's part of it.
So it's not like you made a good bet and you had a bad beat.
If you ask any legitimate traders, you can't really win every single trade.
Right.
It's not possible. So
That's why you had to start off with 27,000, because without enough capital, well, I mean, I guess you could bet really low, right?
You can bet really low, yeah.
Yeah, because in general, what let's say someone only has $1,000.
Okay.
It's
Or
I guess you kind of mentioned this
let's
before.
say 500, because he said
you
that
started
was
with
your
500,
lowest number.
but you were making and losing between what, like $5 and $20 a day?
Yes, pretty much like that.
And then that was enough to get you, like, at what point did you take that? Was it a gradual growth? Because that seems like such a big leap in such a short amount of time.
Okay. So when I was trading with the $500, I was losing there. And once I got into the small cap market, and I was tracking statistics. So because I was an engineer, everything is based on statistics. So that's why I use the engineer method into the stock market. And I want to track this one specific pattern is that, when I trade, how much money can I make? What's the percentage reward? So after I tracked that, it was 20%. And after I tracked the winning percentage, it was 85%. So each trade, I have 85% winning chance and the 20% reward. So I can make thousands of the same trade again and again. Then that's how I really put more money into this.
But when you were just getting started, I mean, assuming these people that are taking your courses and they're trying it for themselves,
Yeah.
they're not going to be as good as you in the beginning.
Yes.
Right. So you have to. I mean, I'm sure you've had a lot of losses, more so than now.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Yes.
How were you able to convince yourself like I'm doing the right thing? You know.
Okay.
When those losses were happening.
So when the losses are happening, a lot of people. So well, as a human nature, and when people take a loss, the instant reaction they will feel is, I want to make this money back. So when they
gambling addiction.
Yeah. So when they want to make the money back, they will make emotional mistakes that will make them lose more money. That's how casino people lose money all the time.
Exactly. Yeah.
And now the reason why you trade in stock market, because there's there's a edge for higher winning percentages, 70%, 80%, even the 60%, you can still make money in the long run. And when you are taking a loss, the thing going into my mindset is, so I track this pattern, and I do have 15% of losing percentages. And when I lose, also in my mind, I will know how much money I can make per year, because I know the frequency of the pattern, risk reward of the pattern, how many times it happen per year, and I can use that to simulate again. I can make about $5 million a year, and in my mind, I know I can make $5 million a year. If I take a one loss, it doesn't really matter. So I can just walk away and come back again. So it's more like a long-term. It's more like a long-term investment instead of like looking at short-term.
Right. Wow.
How many different, so like, for example, yesterday, how many different companies are you trading? Are you focusing on like one company, or are you putting like a bunch of money into it, or are you kind of spreading out amongst like 1,000 companies and putting like a tiny bit in each one?
Okay, so this is where you want to pick what stocks you want to trade. Now, typically when I look at the market, I want to look for everything that has volume. That means other people are looking at it as well. So typically when the market opens at 9:30, I will wake up around 9 and just generally take a look at the overall market and what stock is hot. So what stock is up about or 50% already. So a lot of people will have eyes on it, and that's where it generates volume. That's the stock I will pick.
The volume is the amount of activity going on between buying and
sellers. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. So the higher the volume, it means that most people, like a lot of people are there's a lot of activity, which means there's more potential for ups and downs. Right?
Ups and downs, that means more volatilities. Yeah. So up and downs. And when there's more people trading, there's more newbies. So you can make the newbie money. But
because I mean, in general, like, and in a way, you can't really feel bad because those are the people who weren't willing to put in the time to study.
Yeah.
And really, those are the casual gamblers, like going to Vegas.
They want quick money.
Yeah, they're not going to play the odds. They're playing emotion.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess I understand that.
It's easier too because you don't have to see their faces.
Yeah, it's not like at the poker table where you're like, this guy's a fish, you know, like, and you know he has the money and you're just waiting, you know. Yeah. Okay, I understand that.
So you don't trade like stable stocks.
Yeah, I don't really trade stable stock. I want to trade something that can move 70%, 100%, 1,000% on the day.
So the stable ones are the ones that are more for long term, would you say?
The stable ones are, yes, for long term. For swing trades or something like index fund.
What's a swing trade?
Swing trade is you're holding for positions for a couple months or a year.
So even a couple months you consider a long term trade?
Yeah, I still consider it long term.
Because you do it, what, by the day?
I do it by the day, yeah.
Yeah. So take us to your everyday. Like you told us something earlier. I don't know if it was on the podcast or right before, but you work like 2 hours a day?
Yeah, I work about 2 hours a day.
But obviously in the beginning it was all day.
Yeah.
But now at your level and your success rate, you wake up at 9, you get started at 9:30, you're done by 11:30.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah, most of the time just by 10. But I only stay about 30 to 45 minutes.
And then what do you do?
Then you just enjoy your day once you made your 30,000.
You go to LA, get a haircut.
I play games and go to the
StarCraft.
gym and StarCraft and all that.
So getting to your personal stuff, apparently we just heard before we started this that you made it to a competition in StarCraft. You're a huge gamer. Yeah. StarCraft 2, David and I both used to play that. Not nearly as good. You made it to the top 64 in the world.
Yeah. At one point, I was in WCS champion. The championship.
What is a WCS?
So World Series Championship.
Oh, you were in it. How far did you make it?
I think I was made in Road of 64, and I lost in the Road of 64.
Oh my gosh. That's still crazy. I guess you know what? When you have that kind of money, and then you're just like, I'm gonna get good at StarCraft. So you play StarCraft every day.
Yeah.
Well, is this before or after you started?
This is before. Actually, when I tried to develop the stock market strategies, I used the StarCraft strategies because it's almost like same method, same psychology, counter strategies. You want to counter people that doing.
Making mistakes.
Yeah, making mistakes.
Like if people are going the meta, which is like buying stocks.
Yes.
Then you're going counter meta.
Yeah.
So people are buying battle cruisers.
Okay.
This is going deep.
I'm speaking StarCraft language. You're getting anti-air.
Yeah, you're building widow mines. So
Okay.
widow mines
So it's to you, it was almost like common sense.
yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
And when you see something, you can basically when you see a certain action, you will know what they're building, and you can build a unity against it. It's just pretty much the same method, psychology-wise.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Look at that. Gaming doesn't just create gun violence; it creates money.
So I have a question here. So, you know, a lot of people say they look up to, you know, the advice of Warren Buffett, right?
Yeah.
As a very successful trader. You know, something that I did read somewhere that Warren Buffett said is that if you, you know, take your paycheck and you take a percentage of it and you invest it into a fund or the S&P 500, it has a history of, it's an uphill slope with some dips in between. But from the very beginning of the stock market, it's always been an upward trend.
Yes.
So he was saying that, you know, if you put your money in there, eventually you will make money and it'll compound and it'll make even more.
Yeah.
And so that's like a long-term kind of mindset, right?
Yeah.
Do you believe in that?
I do believe it. Yes. When you invest into SP 500 or going into index funds, you do make money on long term, but in 5 years, 10 years, but you don't really make aggressive income. And
what percentage does that generate? Would you say?
I don't really know. 20%, 50%, maybe a little bit more than that.
Which is pretty good. 20%
over a long period of time.
Period of time. But when you look at the thing I trade, 27,000 into 1 million by audited account statements. That's that's percentage. That percentage is way over 20% to 50%. So
wow,
that's thousands of percent. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, ever since, so it's been about 5 years, 5-6 years of success. Yeah. Right. How has that changed your confidence? I mean, like you said, you kind of started this because of your ex. Like, I mean, I'm sure a part of you is kind of like, you know,
you
know, like, like how do you take us back to where you are now, like to that scenario that first got you started? Like, how do you feel? Are you like over that? Are you like, do you keep in touch with her? Like, what's going on there?
I'm pretty much over it.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah.
But as she hit you up,
hey, Steven, how you doing?
When you rise up, you have higher standards.
no, but yeah, it doesn't stop her from hitting you up, though.
That's true.
That's
true,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you've seen it. People know you have money and you're making money, and naturally, just in anything, you become famous, you make money. You're naturally going to get people coming after you. There's going to be people who want something from you, including girls.
Yeah.
And she hasn't hit you up since.
She did once, but
yeah. But that doesn't mean it was just for money. It could be. But I mean, how has that changed your life? I mean, obviously, I don't know. I actually don't know. How was your everyday life now that you worked those 2 hours? That's what I was trying to get at. What else other than gaming? How has it changed your life?
It didn't really change anything. I love cars, and I just bought cars and
nicer car.
Once you drive 6 months, you get tired of it. Change another car. But I don't think your personality changes. The reason
you said you fly to LA 30 times a year.
Yeah,
that's
pretty travel.
Private jet?
Sometimes no, not private jet.
Okay.
Because Cincinnati doesn't have a private jet.
But if they did,
yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, that might change because you're only at the 4 million mark or 5 million mark, right?
Yeah.
Who says in 5 years you won't be? What's the exponent? I don't know. What are you projecting in 5 years?
I don't know, because there's a certain limit you can make on microcap stocks. You can't exceed 20 millions a year.
Yeah. So do you think that at the rate that you've been, you know, I don't know, maybe it's consistent. You hit a plateau where you get $1 million a year, or has it been like $20, then making $100 a day, then 1,000, then 30,000? Like,
yeah.
What's your projection?
The projection is you don't really want to do this forever. So you always want to like, well, split your portfolios. You can do some real estate, which I just bought a couple properties a couple months ago. And once you have all the portfolios, they all generating money. So
and these courses too.
And
it's a business in itself,
business
right?
itself,
And if you get enough people, then you don't even need to do this.
Yeah, the reason why I start courses is you guys all know back in like a year ago, 2 years ago, a lot of people are starting lifestyle marketing. I don't know if you guys know this.
All these courses,
showing
right?
you cars, showing you houses, but those, they don't really.
There's like that one guy on YouTube,
Ty Lopez.
Yeah. It's
God, I
all
couldn't
lifestyle
stand
marketing.
those.
Where is the track record and what you're good at? Show us the track record.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of those, I was just annoyed by those ads. I'd just be like, this guy's just such a douchebag. Anyway, I would look at that and I would feel like it would get people's attention, right? But then are they legitimate? They might be.
You don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
You don't know,
but you're going the route of like, here's transparency.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's going to be the people who are mad at you who are going to speak out against you.
Yeah.
But if you have the proof, you have the receipts, then I mean, there's nothing they can really say. And I think that's important to be transparent.
I think it's very important. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's one of the most important things before you start teaching people, because if you don't know what you're teaching, then you're teaching the wrong thing, and a lot of people will probably lose more money. Yeah. And that's on you. That's not on the people. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Do you enjoy the teaching process? Would you say you're a better teacher or a better trader?
See, because when I teach people, because I attract a lot of more younger generations, so a lot of people are gamers and they're funny people, and we have our like own common languages. So it's actually, I do enjoy teaching. Yeah.
And then you feel obviously. So how exactly? Just to give you a rough estimate, how much are these courses?
Some of the courses are if you are super beginners
to start
like $90
a month.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a subscription service, like anything else, like almost like going to. I mean, I guess a really cheap college, but not calling what you do a college, but that's kind of what it is. It's you're taking a school, right?
It depends on how deep you want to go to the courses. Yeah.
I mean, but do you think? I mean, how many courses are there? Like, do you think you have to finish it to get to
where you're at?
Yeah.
I would say there's about, well, it's not how many courses, it's about how many live webinars that I do, and you watch me trade. And you can pretty much do the same thing when I'm not there. And doing analysis when you're waking up in the morning, and make sure execution goes good, and doing your own statistics. It's the method. So it's not how many.
I see.
Yeah.
It's like learning how to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have a lot of videos online, you said, right?
Yeah.
So what differentiates that from the classes? Like, what makes somebody go, I think I should take the classes because these videos can only offer so much? Or is it like a way more intense, dense?
Maybe in depth.
Yeah. Because so YouTube videos are more general beginners for people that just want to get in the market and they don't know what even stock market is. And they can listen some general opinions and what should do, what should not do, trying to avoid some beginner mistakes there and there. But if you really want to get into patterns, statistics, and real condensed courses that just teach you the patterns, then I would say that's where the paid courses come from.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really wish we had you here at 9:30 so we could have watched you just do it.
Yeah,
You had me here right before, after.
Yeah, I wish I would have just seen it just to be like, oh, okay, it's like that. Not that I would understand how to do it, just to like visually just see you do it.
Yeah.
And then be like, okay, let's do the podcast. I just made 30 grand. That would have been so cool.
So would you say that a majority of your income comes from trading versus like your other business with the teaching?
Oh, trading makes way much more money compared to teaching.
What percentage? 90%?
I mean, he only has 100
Yeah, he
students,
has
right?
100 students, dude.
Probably 70%, 80%. Yeah. So it's not, the service is not started to, I want to make money from people.
Yeah.
It's not dedicated in that. Yeah.
But I mean, eventually, if you're putting in the time to build it out and run it, there has to be some reason. It's not a charity.
Yeah.
Right. So, it makes sense. It's a business.
But at the same time, earlier he said he wants, like, when you pay for something, you give it worth. So that's what it's for.
True.
Yeah.
True.
That's mainly what it's for.
That's
right?
mainly what it's for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Well, that's interesting.
We have some questions from fans.
Okay.
mind answering here. We have one from Jiang here. When do you believe the next financial downturn will happen, and should we wait to begin investing until that happens? Kind of like what I guess Warren Buffett does, right? He bought it when it was really cheap, and then it went up.
So because when I trade, micro cap stocks, they don't have any correlations compared to the entire market. So when the market goes down or up, it doesn't really affect the stock while I'm trading. So that's something that you can be really safe to learn to trade. And also you can learn how to really trade in long terms. So financial crisis happens every 10 years. So we're at that mark.
Consistently?
Consistently, yeah.
Okay.
So it's coming soon.
It's coming soon, yeah.
So, I mean, but it's almost the opposite for you, right? Or correct me if I'm wrong, but you're waiting till people over-invest and then you short, right? You don't go against that.
Yeah.
So you're not waiting till I guess it would be at the same time, right? When the market's bad, then more people invest? Is that how it works?
Okay, let me give you examples. It's very easy to understand.
Okay.
And let's start from the beginning. So when the stock is going up the first time, and a lot of people are telling your friends, okay, well, invest in stock. The stock went from it's the new Tesla, and the stock went from 1 to 10, and you tracked a lot of people to invest the stock. Now, well, the company didn't do that good. The stock went from 10 to 1. And all of you are stuck at 10. So the next time when stock bounces to 10, goes to 10 again after 3 years, you guys are tired of holding, and the stock goes back to 10, I will short it because you guys will sell. You guys don't want to hold that long.
That's
anymore.
one pattern that you've recognized.
Yeah. But when I'm shorting it, there's still people buying at 10 because they think, oh, it's going to be potentially break through 10. And that time we'll trap new people into at 10.
Right.
And when stock goes against the 10 again, will cause a certain chain reactions. It will keep going.
How often are you how often is it very rare that you're wrong about that? Like, let's say something, it is the next Tesla. Like how often does that happen to you?
1 out of 50.
Very rare.
Very rare, yeah.
So
you're betting the percentages.
So this kind of happened with Bitcoin, right? What's your idea? Like, remember when there was such a big, I mean, I'm sure you know, it was such a big thing with crypto, right?
Yes.
It was at, I think our friends were like, oh, it was at, well, I don't remember the number, like 10,000?
20,000
when it was really,
at high.
yeah, but it was like around 10 when it was super popular.
Yeah.
And then it went up to 20.
Yeah.
And people were still buying along the way. Even our friends were buying around like 10. It went up to 20. They were still holding on to it, and people were saying it's going to come back down. It kind of it did.
I was shorting it, but okay.
Yeah. So you
I was betting
part
against
of it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So what if though? And people still believe. We have friends who still say Bitcoin is going to be the future. What if it just keeps? I guess it's just a pattern thing. Like you're assuming it's never going to become big.
I'm not assuming it's never going to become big, but think about it like this. So at that time, back in I think it was 2017,
a couple years ago. Yeah.
So the Bitcoin went. There's a huge hype about it, and understand the industry of pretty much everything. 90% people lose money. So when 90% people are trying to buy something, you're trying to go against it. So that's how you make money.
I see.
Now, since it was a huge hype, and there's more people are trapped in it. So a lot of people are holding 15,000, 16,000, 17,000, even though 20,000. When stock goes back to 20,000 again, a lot of people will sell. It's the same psychology.
Right.
So for stock to recover from that many backholders, which people are holding the bag, they're looking to sell, it will take years and years. So for the next couple of years, the investor will be fighting the backholders for a while. Yeah.
So right before this, you mentioned breaking 10. Yeah. So are you saying breaking 10 because 10 is a whole, like a good number, like a 1, 0, and then like 20, 15 or 25?
So the first time when stock around, I'm not going to short it because I want to know where the backholder is. I want to know where the stock drops. Once they trap enough backholders, I will know, at this price, people are looking to sell. And when it goes to that price, and I will short sell it. And when people are trying to buy it at 10, there will be new people trapped in it again. So it will cause a chain reaction next time when people trying to buy again. I will still short sell at 10. And then we'll just do it again and again and again. And we'll always make money. Yeah.
Until the day, theoretically, until the day that it just blows up.
Until the day,
and then you're saying even then it should come back down.
Well, until the day breaks 10,
then
I will cut at 10.50. Then I just lose 50 cents out of $10 stock.
I see.
Right? So.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's a risk management.
Sorry, I'm just trying to follow everything in my head.
Yeah, it's like a math.
Yeah, it's such a new concept for. I know nothing about stocks. I think if I can I kind of understand, but I think if I can kind of understand. I think a lot of people listening will know a lot more than I do.
They're probably like, God, Ryan's actually so
No, people
dumb.
say that a lot. You know, when we did like the one with Andrew Yang, I was like, you're like, what does he not know anything? Why is Andrew Yang on this show? Yes, I need things dumbed down, but I think you did a great job. I think I understand this a lot more, and I think I appreciate the fact that you're being very transparent. Even though as a skeptic person myself, I would personally be like, well, how do I know what I'm looking at? Because this is confusing. And we're taking it from your words. So if I had somebody verify that doesn't know you, being like, oh yeah, this is legit, I would probably believe it more. But I'm not questioning it. And I've met you now, and you seem like a very straight up dude, and you play StarCraft too, so that helps. I mean, gamers, you know, there's like a certain connection there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it's definitely interesting, and it seems like you genuinely want to help.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, if you're gonna, I wouldn't personally. I don't know enough to encourage anyone, but I think if you're interested, we can find Steven. Where can they?
StevenDuxie.com. So StevenDuxi.com.
DUXI. Okay.
Yeah.
StevenDuxE.com.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Did we miss anything?
Well, I mean, we do have a couple more.
Oh yeah.
things.
Sorry.
we
Go
do.
ahead.
Yeah.
We have more
Yeah.
fan
Yeah.
questions.
So Eric Wynn has a question, and it's like, it can kind of be combined with a lot of other things too, but it's just like, I have a 9-to-5 job that requires me to have my full 8-hour attention, but I really want to trade and make a profit.
Yeah.
Do I have to trade hourly/daily in order to be successful?
Okay, so there's two strategies that I'm teaching. One, you can be a full-time day trader. One, you can be a part-time day trader. But right now, I'm even a part-time because I only stay about 45 minutes. So as long as you can, take your time and wake up at 9, trade until 10, and you're good.
But is it every day?
It's pretty much every day. Yeah.
Is there a way you could do like, does it just not work this way, that you do follow your strategy? Is your strategy based on you have to be there every day?
The strategy is based on you have to be at least 30 minutes on
Every
the
day.
Every day. Yeah.
What if you did like a week straight and then you skipped a couple of days and then you went another
You can still
week?
skip. Yeah. You
Oh, so
still-
you can
skip.
You can't miss a day. That doesn't ruin your strategy.
No.
Okay.
Right.
But what
Because-
about at like the beginning though? You know, when they're just starting to learn.
Because some
And
people
then-
aren't going to be able to just, do what you did, or aren't brave enough to necessarily just give up what they're doing and commit to this full time, right?
Yeah, so if you're not really committed to this, at the beginning, I don't really recommend people to really commit to this full time. To learn these strategies, to learn the industries, you need a year of learning.
Repetition.
For actually trading, just 30 minutes to 45. Yeah.
What about people who aren't? I mean, a lot of this seems like pattern recognition. Is
Yeah.
pattern recognition something you can learn, or is there something like, is it like math where you can learn the formula?
You can learn the formula. Yeah.
Okay, so it is like a math.
It's
Like
math.
it's not like writing where like you have some people are creative and some people just there's an answer.
It's 80% math, 20%, I would say psychology.
Judgment, like,
Judgment.
okay.
Yeah, judgment call, yeah.
And the psychology part refers more so to whether that day you want to, you feel more selfish.
Yeah,
in a
sometimes
way.
you feel more greedy. Sometimes
Yeah.
you want to make more money. Sometimes, if you take a loss, you want to make it back. Yeah, so it's more about discipline. Yeah,
Right,
Being
right,
a robot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what you were saying about like people make emotional decisions, and
Yes.
your whole thing is don't do that.
Don't do that.
Be a robot.
Okay.
Yeah, be a robot.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Well, that's definitely interesting. Do you want to go through what's the last
Yeah,
one?
we got one last one from Adi Chandu. What advice do you have for high schoolers that want to start investing?
Okay, so for high schoolers, I don't think you can open up a brokerage account before you turn 21. But when I was 19, I think when you turn 18, you can open up a brokerage account, but you can't really have a margin account.
What's a brokerage account?
A brokerage account just have an account in E-Trade and.
Oh, okay. So just like
or
to get
rather-
in, like the program you were showing us.
Yeah, to open up
Yeah.
one.
You have to be 21.
To 18. 18.
Oh, okay.
And you need
Yeah.
to, when you turn 21, you can have a margin account, which means you have a leverage. You can borrow money from the brokerage,
I don't know what that
which
is.
allows you to short.
which allows you to short.
Okay,
Yes.
so okay.
But you're not borrowing from nothing. You're borrowing from the money that you've already put in the
Yeah,
market.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
So you can't short until you have that margin account.
account, yes.
You
And
need-
that's your strategy, right?
That's my strategy. But you can use your parents to open up the account. But yeah,
Legally?
that's how I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, again, I kind of followed, but people who are really interested, I'm sure if you actually are interested there, I'm sure there's a lot more they can see on YouTube first. If you like what you see, go to Stephen Duxi.com.
Yeah.
Right. And check his stuff out.
Yep. Any other handles or anything you want to plug? Twitter, Instagram, stuff like that?
Oh yeah, there's
It'll be in the description.
Just check the description.
Yeah. I mean, also for our audio listeners, like, do you just have
that? There's a description for that too. Well, you could just say it. Like, what's your Twitter handle and Instagram? What do you use actually?
Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. That's it.
Okay, sweet.
YouTube is Steven Dux, and
just look up Steven Dux.
It'll pop up.
Yeah, you'll pop up. Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to find him, you'll find him.
Also, just don't get scammed by fake accounts. There's a lot of fake accounts
of you.
Of me. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. What do you have a verified check mark?
Right now, no.
You should probably ask.
Yeah.
Because if not, that could be a big deal. If people are following the wrong. That's like open.
The wrong advice.
This is like really sensitive because it's dealing with money.
Yeah, make sure to check the description to find the accurate ones.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. That's the main thing. Cool. With that being said, I guess, thank you again for being here, man. This is very, very educational.
Very informative. Yeah.
You can follow us at Off the Pill on Twitter, at Off the Pill Podcast on Instagram. And basically how we end this is we just breathe into the mic. So in 3, 2, 1. Stocks. Sell the stocks.